And now that the camera is on, I feel like I'm going to have to perform. Da, 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 da. So, what do I say now? As always, these videos are completely for myself. This is pretty much a peek into my own brain, my own processing. And I do this because I have to get it out. This is part of shadow work as I have found it. It is to bring everything that's on the inside outside. And everything I'm going to talk about has been talked about before. I'm not a unique being. I will not say any unique words. Every challenge here, every story I've made up in my mind has been made up 1,000 times before. It's not truth either, because what is true on many different layers, but one of the layers is there's only vibrations. The absolute truth, as far as I can tell right now, is that there's a dot on my camera. I can see myself on the screen right in front of me, and I'm speaking to myself. And even if there's anyone else out there watching, they are just a different version of me. So, I am actually very surprised at how well my words are coming out right now. I was expecting more resistance. There it is. There it is, right? There's a little bit of resistance. But here it is, right here. I'm right here in this moment. I'm speaking to myself, literally, because there is no one else around, except what I imagine someone else may be saying, so their imaginary audience, but it's all imaginary. I don't actually know. And yesterday, or day before, day after that, or day before that, I tried speaking and it just doesn't come out clean. I have all these hesitations. I don't know where it comes from. And I think it's me. I'm the one doing this. But why would I do that to myself? I don't consciously do these things to myself. That's the cutting edge right now, right in front of me. That my emotional state goes up and goes down, goes up and goes down. And so here I am doing emotional strength training to add weights to turn on the camera, but to do it in my terms. I couldn't get the right word. Under my own terms, something like that. So, there's a little bit more emotional resistance. Come on. The first part of these videos are usually for me to freak out, stumble through my words, keep talking anyways, and say how, you know, anxious or whatever I'm feeling, and la 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 la. So just gotta keep on keeping on. So, anyways, this is a log for me. And I imagine in the future, I'm just going to upload all this information to the AI so that it can pull all the different patterns and it could track where my mood was. So today, from a 0 to 10, 0 being like really bad, to 10 like I'm on top of the world, probably pretty manic. um, it's probably a 6, you know. The last week or so, it's been lower. It's been like 3 or 4. It's been one of the rougher week or 2 weeks as I am diving straight into my shadow. And what occurred to me was to say this line. It's that I am healing my social trauma. And right now, I think I'm in my grade school phase. Like, I think I'm reliving my grade school frustrations. It feels about right. It's just like nothing I do feels right. Nothing I do connects. Um, yeah, just like that. So, hmm. right now in that one moment, bringing what's on the inside outside is my brain was trying to figure out how to phrase the next words. So when I don't have anything that I can say, I switch into meta mode. And that's one of the strategies to be able to get me out of freeze. And that's one of the major goals of all these videos too, is to get myself out of freeze, is to also show challenges. Because every video out there I see, all the algorithms all give the most clean version of all the videos in the world. So we're skewed to this hyper perfection where there is no room for everyday struggles, everyday. Mm. And in this moment, for some reason, I'm feeling like I'm scripted. I'm talking. I'm not. I don't feel in the moment, so I'm changing. Right? It's my reality. It's my moment. It's infinitely perfect. Whatever I do is infinitely perfect. It's so weird. It's hard to get there. It's like there's nothing I can do that is wrong. I mean, there's a few things that would cause a cascade of negative consequences. And I don't do those things, right? So I stay within the box of liberation, you know. I do not talk about self-harm or harm to others, right? I'm completely nonviolent. I don't give away information or security, and I'm not loud and disruptive in my physical environment, right? So that covers safety in both uh, self and others, covers informational safety, and then physical environmental safety. So those are kind of all these possibilities in the world. Okay, so Hector, this is me. I'm talking to myself. All right. So future me, this is past me. I can't see you. You're big. You're in the future. I can only extrapolate and hope and see. Um, this is day number 13,947, and I haven't reached enlightenment yet, so it's still another day. So one of these days, I think I'm just hoping it would just like, oh, it's all done, great. It's like, it's not done yet. So this morning, maybe I should backtrack. This weekend, I drove down to Shasta for a wedding. I felt, and then it was too cold, so I didn't stay the second night. So I left kind of towards the end after all the reception, uh, middle of the reception. It wasn't over yet, but because I wanted to get down the mountain before it got dark, and there's these rocks, and the Prius does not handle anything. It's like it's got like 5 centimeters of ground clearance. So I got down from the mountain. That was fine. And I faced an 8.5 hour drive after 7 p.m. Right, that would put me back home at around 4 a.m. Or I could stop somewhere in between. So I just decided to drive straight up. And for the first 5 hours, right, all the way through Oregon, I just let go. I just focused on not spending any emotional effort because driving is almost the perfect meditation tool, right? I have to stay focused. The consequences for not focusing is high. And I just allowed my brain to drift into any thought it wanted to. And this is how I have learned to sleep as well, right? Going to sleep is not an action I can do, but the thing that I could do is lay down, close my eyes, let go of all emotional effort, and then here's the trick to it, allow my brain to drift to whatever thought it wants to think about and just entertain that. So, I'm noticing the shadow and just like, it doesn't matter. Okay, self consciousness. Notice it. See, I noticed it and then I instantly invalidated it, saying it doesn't matter. So, on that note, let's go into my emotional drama. Okay, following the threads. So, this I was pulling on a thread. Okay, I've noticed that. So, I'm at home. I am kind of a backup person in case my parents have any troubles. They are getting older and my dad is getting weaker and my mom has is going through treatment for cancer. So I'm here, right? I'm doing my dharma, but another part of me also says like, "Oh, I'm an adult, the American way. Like I'm at home, all these judgments, I'm in my childhood bedroom. It's also the greatest place for me to unwind my childhood traumas. There's never going to be a better time than now when the source is still here, right? I say that just to start lifting some of the lids that cover the emotional shadow. And when I started to dig into it, it's like, oh, no wonder it's so hard to get to. There's so many layers upon layers upon layers of judgment and counter judgment. Oh, I shouldn't think this way. Like, oh, like none of this is true. Oh, I shouldn't be bad talking my parents or dishonoring them or I shouldn't be airing out dirty laundry or there's so many things. So of course we can't get to it because we can't talk about it. But the thing is, I'm not the only one with parents. I'm not the only one with parents that I don't like. There's parts of them that I like. I honor. I'm still alive. So they've done their job. They've done their job, right? Cool, right? Have I checked the box of, honoring them? See, all these things I should do, I'm already feeling the like, and this is just a precursor, right? So spiritual invalidation, that says, none of this is real. I'm doing this to myself. So spiritual gaslighting myself. It's like, oh, I get mad at something my mom says, and then spiritual invalidation would be like, oh, that's not real. I'm the one who's taking it wrong. I could just interpret it as a vibration, you know, and nothing's happening. It's just trees. It's like, cool. That's spiritual invalidation. Because what is happening is the emotional story that I've just said isn't happening. So that is actually false. The spiritual invalidation is actually wrong because it is not giving voice to the false story. Yes, it is imaginary, but it's not allowing the emotional story to feel heard. So I'm doing this backwards. I went through these threads. I'm going backwards through them now. I've already written this, right? So um, this is kind of my summary. I was like, oh my gosh, of course I feel like a hollow human being. There's a mask I put on, for people. It's like, how are you doing? It's like, great, of course. What else do you say? Like, I'm terrible, awful, just the worst. Like, no, you don't say that. So my brain lost track of why. It feels embarrassed, and I'm simply acknowledging the emotion without whatever. Okay. Okay. So this is kind of the summary after I went through all the other stuff. It's like, oh, of course, this is why my emotional hole is very deep. When I moved to Hong Kong, or moved from Hong Kong when I was 6, I pretty much lost everything that a little child would want, could need, emotional tether. I lost my grandma, who was my main emotional attachment. The only thing I remember is that I loved her so much, more than anything in the world. Okay. Again, this is not about talking bad. This is a child's made up story about my parents. None of this is true, you know. Um, I feel like I was overly protected. Blame. Don't blame. Again, spiritual invalidation. This is not about truth. This is about the emotional, what it wants to say, what it feels. My trauma healing. Again, invalidation. We don't need to heal anything. Wow, spiritual invalidation. Okay. So I'm going to give myself what I give other people too. It's like really get in there, be non correct, just be as judgmental as possible because that is the emotional the emotional thing that wants to feel heard. And I need to process it and why I have this block that's coming up now as I'm talking about it, right? So this is perfect. This struggle that I go through is because of layer after layer after layer of trauma of the nervous system, just like, like, you know. So, okay. So this morning, like, I woke up mediumly early, even though I went to bed at 4 a.m. I woke up at 10 because I didn't want to sleep in too late. And I started doing my morning routine. And I've noticed that I need to get things done before mom wakes up. Because the moment mom wakes up, boom, I don't want to do anything. I just want to stay in my room. This is my fortress. I feel, oh, because even here, my mom's gonna like knock and always gonna just, but that's just how it is. Again, invalidation. Okay. See, now I'm starting to map out pieces of shadow. This is just how I feel. It's what I've noticed. It's why so many hours can just go by when I'm home, but when I'm out, I feel expanded, right? So there's parts of my mom that just drains everything. Again, this is the emotional trauma talking. And I feel the anger, just like, oh, right? I feel like I've been overly protected. I've had English language challenges, writing, speaking. And the other day, when I was talking to dad about it, mom freaking laughed at me. Laughed. It was like, ha, huh, you went to college. You shouldn't be having troubles. Like, people who didn't go to college have writing troubles. It's like, I didn't even respond, you know. I just paused, let that moment pass, and just kept talking as if I didn't hear her. It's like, that's one instance of like invalidating, mocking, belittling, controlling. And the spiritual invalidation part would also say, like, yeah, because she is immature, and that's just how it is, you know? It's like, what am I going to do? Yell? Just say, oh, grow up. It's like, is that how you get a child to grow up? It's like you yell at them. It's like, why haven't you grown up already? It's like, no, no, they either are or they are not yet. And my mom is 70 something. Like, she's not going to change. And I don't expect her to change, right? So, but this part is about acknowledging what I think happened, not the truth, again, spiritual validation again. And this is not about dishonoring my parents, you know, like, again, these are all dramatized fictional accounts. These are the emotions, like, this is the story that is stuck within me. And the reason I couldn't process it is because I'm not supposed to share it. I'm not supposed, don't air dirty laundry, you know. And then there's even like a counter shadow of like, oh, what if I share this and I'm out in public somewhere and somebody becomes a vigilante and yells at my mom? It's like, oh, you're a terrible mom. It's just like, nobody asked you for that. Like, and then I imagine like confronting that person, be like, hey, like, you are, what are you doing? You know, like, and then I imagine that person saying, well, if you didn't want me doing this, you shouldn't have shared that publicly, you know, live. It's like the ignorant vigilante. And then the second shadow would be like, oh, I would be so mad if somebody did that, because then I would feel like I couldn't share something because it would cause harm. But then I realized, wait, this ignorant vigilante is me. I'm the one who's calling my mom a terrible mom. This is my child self screaming. This is not the truth. This is every child who has been mad at their parents, their mom, their dads. Okay? So, this, I'm not unique. I'm not. Everything I'm saying is not unique. This moment is not unique. There's other people who've done exactly the same thing, who have walked through these paths, who have gone through these shadows. But I haven't, so this isn't even right. So this all started from this morning. I was just washing my cups in the kitchen, and I hear this like startling, like, "Hey!" like, because I have my headphones on, playing audio in order to cut out this atmosphere of constant interference. And it just startles me, right? It's like, oh, of course, like mom didn't realize I was home because I came home at 4 a.m. and I was really quiet, so I intentionally didn't want to interrupt my mom's sleep just in case she thought there was an intruder or anything, right? So I was really quiet. I was conscientious. And then she comes out and then sees me. It's like, ah, of course, like that's startling. But it made me so mad. And this is why it makes me mad, right? It reminds me of every other time that, let's see, where is it? Right here, right? So this, like, ah, you know, but it reminds me of every single other time when I would do something that was just a little unexpected, and mom would just be like, just be like overly reactive and just like it's like questioning everything. So as long as it's within the little tiny bubble of what she expects, then it's okay. Like it's everything's fine. The moment anything veers out of it, it's like, wow, what is that? Like, oh, how did you do that? It's like, it's all sorts of this, like, how they, the line, it's like, first they laugh at you, then they fight you, then it's always been that way. Like, mom is the stereotypical, like, classic. Like, when I started growing out my hair, she would always make fun of me, be like, oh, la la la, like, you just at first make fun of me, and then I don't know, she fought it. She always makes jokes of like, oh, I'll cut it, like, So, and then this is 5 years in. She does, she's not forgotten about it. She gotten used to it. And then if I ever let my hair down, she'll still be like, oh, you know, so immature. So again, this was just an moment. It's like, and I got startled. It's like, and I had audio headphones on, so it's like, yeah, I was intentionally trying to block out this feeling that anytime she's awake, I don't want to do anything. It just locks my whole energy down. Okay, and even talking about that, right, triggers some of the other higher level judgments, you know? Like, oh, I'm pathetic. I'm an adult. I'm American. Like, I should be able to be on my own with a house, with a family, and high paying job, and that's the only way that is counted as successful. Even if that happened, well, I don't know what my parents would do. Like, there's nothing that is an option for them. Not in this world, you know? There's no safety. This is a very. Anyway, so I'll put that judgment aside. So that's one. So just, like just anything that doesn't align with my very narrow mom's expectation of the world. She'll be like, make fun of it. She'll like make sarcastic, like, what is this? What? Oh, I can't. It's Cantonese. It's hard to translate it. So that's why I'm actually doing this. I've never really talked about these things ever. But this is all imaginary. None of this is real. Okay. So I started writing this out, right? So putting myself as a stick figure that starts to pull it out of my subconscious. Like, okay, what actually happened? Okay, is the one, the surprise, and then it shocked me and it made me really mad. It's like, ugh. And then secondarily, I was filling the water. This is a water filter. And that says like, oh, if you're done with the water, just fill it halfway. And the mom goes, don't feel it at all. It's just like, again, this in itself is so innocuous, especially when I say it in English. But in the moment, it's just like, God damn it. It's just controlling. Like if I go to fill the water, then I'm doing something. Why are you like in my experience, how I felt was it implied that I didn't know what I was doing. Now I'm angry. I'm just like, fine, just like whatever, you know. I don't have a word for that yet. It's just like angry. Again, it seemed very stereotypical. Like there's a term, but I don't know it. It's just like rebellious, just like frustrated frustrated compliance, just like ugh. And that kind of sums up my entire freaking life. It's like you're gonna it's being really pissed off at just continuously controlling every little bit to the point that it's like, okay, I'm gonna do nothing. Try to control that, you know? Try to control that. Mm. Okay. So, anyways, so this is kind of how let me just look at it. Okay. Um, so these are the suppressions. It's like, oh, I'm not supposed to dishonor my parents. I'm not supposed to talk bad about them. I'm not. I'm just talking about my own imaginary childhood tantrums. Right? This is what I notice. It's like, oh, before mom wakes up, I am clean. My mind is clear. I'm just doing things. I'm on track. The moment, oh, and here's the other thing I remember. It's like, oh, I also need to be quiet because otherwise, mom would wake up. She's a light sleeper. And this kind of ingrains in me, it's just like I've always got to be subdued and quiet. I imagine an entire childhood growing up that way. Like if I'm awake early, you got to be really quiet. Like you got to, when you pee, like you got to pee in the side of the bowl. Otherwise, you don't want to hear the water. It's like that kind of. I used to pee out the porch until it started smelling, and it's like, oh, I shouldn't do that. In order to keep it quiet, that's what I had to do. So that's kind of the way I grew up. So it's like all these layers that all start to make sense of why my being is so suppressed. And right, anything that surprises mom, she just scoffs at you. You're questioning. It's like, oh, right. So it leads to self-suppression. And the moment the impact on me, right? So these are the languages I'm starting to map my shadow with. Is the moment mom wakes up, I don't want to do anything. Okay, so I countered that with these audios and put on a headset and playing something to break up this emotional gunk that is there, this self-suppression. And then this overly controlling, this voice of just like, oh, don't feel it at all. Like just I can't quite reach the energy of it right now speaking in English, but it's just it activated all the past sense of control. Control. Just tells you what to do, when to do, how to do it. It's just control. Ah, so insanely mad to the point where I just rebelliously comply. Just like, you know, right? And then I noticed the spiritual invalidation come in and saying, this isn't real. I'm the one who's doing this. It's like, yes, and I just invalidated myself because this is real within the imaginary child tantrum. Um, and it says I shouldn't judge, right? So what I'm judging is like, oh, mom is controlling, and she's controlling stupid things. It's like it doesn't matter. Like it's a stupid water container, and then my thoughts was like, oh, now I'm mad. Now I have to process that. Now I'm wasting computational space on a stupid jug, right? So so I'm judging mom, shutting me down. That's a story, right? And then I judge myself for saying like, oh, I shouldn't judge others. I shouldn't judge mom because she's also wounded. Yes, that's also true, but I've invalidated this with this, which is actually they're both true. My mom is emotionally immature, and I feel shut down, and they are both inside me, not out there. All three are simultaneously true. They don't contradict each other. And at the same time, I also feel like, oh, because I wrote this on the live video here, right? It's like, oh, I shouldn't say this out loud. I shouldn't air dirty laundries, you know? Oh, like what if somebody hears me and then like I'm walking the street and they feel like they need to protect, like they need to jump on the cancel culture wagon and be like vigilante violence, emotional violence. It's like, oh, and then I couldn't share this, and then so I made a disclaimer saying, oh, this is all a dramatized fictional account as a counter to the counter shadows, right? And then wait, but if I say this, then now I'm lying. There's no winning this game. It's like, oh, this is why this is so hard to talk about. This is why it's so deep. It's like layer after layer after layer of should or shouldn't, should and shouldn't. You know, oh, what would someone else think? What would I think? I shouldn't be doing this. Oh, I'm an adult. I shouldn't be home. My parents shouldn't be feeding me. Oh, that's the other thing, right? Mom makes food, and then I feel like one, I should feel lucky. You know, some people say like, "Wow, that's so lucky." You know, again, these are all imaginary voices. You know, and right, I also see that like this is one of her last service, like her love language is service, like something she can do for me. You know, and I'm taking care of her and my dad, right? So we're all a happy family, except we're also not. You know, it's also like there's this like sneering public voice in me, just like, oh, you're you're at home and you're how old? You know, derisive, like, oh, your mom still cooks for you, huh? And it's also an Asian family kind of thing. But here's the thing too. From my side, it also feels like it's like a double-edged rage, right? Because she does this, to me, it also feels extremely intrusive. Like when I'm doing a live video, she'll still knock on the door, even though I have the light red blazing in front of the door saying, like, hey, this is red. Don't interrupt me. And she'll still do it. And she'll, because she has to cook and know what to buy, and like, she keeps asking about my schedule, and I don't want to give it because I don't even know. I don't know when I'm going to be out. I don't know how long, right? The freedom of that. It's like, oh, but oh, tell me when you're coming home. When like, I get the logistics of it, like how much to cook, when to do it. But I don't want to be telling you when I'm coming back. I don't want you locking me in your world. And I never really asked for this, you know? And she doesn't really, she never. takes into account. That's not quite true, but now I'm judging myself. See, this is an imaginary world of my inner toddler. She never asks what I want. Yeah, right. So this is the inner toddler. So I'm giving voice to the inner toddler. Okay, cool. Mom just makes whatever mom makes, and you just eat it, and that's just how it's always been. So what I want is unimportant. My wants and needs are unimportant. And right, so these are the layers and layers, and then I ask myself, okay, how I wish it would have happened, like this scenario. I was writing all this stuff up, and it's like, okay, what do I want to happen? I just want to be left alone. I want to feel energetic spaciousness. The moment I say that, the other side voice instantly cuts in saying, like, this is the moment. It's like, thank you, spiritual invalidation. Appreciate it. That was, I don't need to invalidate my invalidation. Okay. But it's spiritual invalidation because this is what I want. I just kind of want the whole house to myself, and man, it would feel so much easier for me just knock things off without feeling just claustrophobic. Again, see, I instantly felt the second voice. It's like, oh, but I need to be here to work through my childhood traumas and make use of this moment, Dharma, and those all are invalidating voices because that's not necessary. What's true is simply, hey, I wish this was the case. Full stop. Nothing else. It's like, yeah, no, that would be great. Full stop. No buts, no ands. It's all simultaneously true. They don't contradict each other. They all just simultaneously exist as layers. What's true is, I got surprised because I snuck home in the middle of the night and I woke up early and I started doing stuff. So that's what happened. And then it triggered my anger of all the times I feel like anytime you would surprise mom in the least, she would blow up on you, questioning, belittling, joking. So that triggered a whole cascade. And then when I was filling the water, I filled up a little bit, and then dad says, don't fill it up all the way. And mom says, don't fill it up at all. It's just like, oh, the control. That triggered the control. Okay, so surprise and control. So mapping the shadow. Um, surprise, control, sup- suppression. The the impact being so reactive is that I feel suppressed. Okay, and then I don't talk about it because I feel pathetic that mom still has an effect on me. It's like, yeah, this is my child. Like, see, I'm invalidating it. I'm I am trying to prove. Anyways, so yeah, there's a judgment that, oh, I'm pathetic, that mom still has an effect on me, what an American adult should or shouldn't, you know, look like. Um, I imagine what somebody who would want to date me may look like. See this? It's like, oh, be turned off, be unattractive, still be at home. don't judge, and then the shadow of don't air your dirty laundry. What if mom finds out through someone else? Then I would be so mad at that person, but then they would say, like, oh, you shouldn't even do this. So they are, my imaginary voice is critiquing myself for airing dirty laundry and making it my fault that they cause violence. But then am I the one causing my own self violence, but then I'm invalidating that voice as well. So layers and layers and layers upon invalidation. Oh, and the poisoned gift. Yes, food is great, and it saves me a lot of time. And, but when it gets turned around, when she blows up and says like, and she weaponizes it and says, look how I make so much food for you. I even hand it to you, and you treat me like this. Any sort of tone, like, don't you talk to me that way. You wouldn't even treat a servant that way. Like you treat a dog better than me. I imagine this is not the first time anyone has used this line in a fight, so I don't think this is unique. But it's like when you take something good and you use it in an argument and saying like, this is what I did for you. Now it's poisoned. Now it's just like, I'd rather not have this if that's how you're going to use it. But this is a line that keeps repeating, especially between mom and dad. Mom specifically. Anytime she hears any tone, especially after she's been all controlling and belittling and be like, I have to keep reminding you everything, why you're so lazy, and then if you give any sort of disgruntledness about her controlling, she would be like, don't you treat me this way, look at how I'm perfect, I always never do anything bad to you, as she is yelling. The contradiction does not appear when she is in anger, when we are in anger. That's what I've noticed. It's like there can be such a blatant contradiction, hypocrisy, while somebody's yelling, saying like, I never, you know, did anything wrong by you, while you're screaming and yelling and using emotional violence. You're saying you've never done emotional violence. I don't know how that works, but that's how it works. Okay? So yes, the truth is, it's all just vibrations. And it's how my neurology is making up this entire childhood story. All this. But I also know none of this is unique to feeling controlled by my parent and their really limited, terrible expectations and limited by her own fears and her own lack of self-efficacy and having things done for me. I don't really know how to cook. I don't have an opportunity because it's just tears. It's like, well, I might as well work on something else. See, that's the side effect. It's like, I, yeah, it's not bad. So I just accept it and then I don't know how to cook for myself. I could learn. I've done it. You know, when I was out in college, I've cooked for myself plenty. And now, since I've been back, don't need to. And it saves me money and it works. But the effect is that anything that was helped for me, I don't learn how to do for myself. And you compound that over a lifetime, and that is why I have so low self efficacy. And even when I do something good, like build the chairlift or the garage, the fence door, she'd be like, wow, I didn't know you could do that. It's just like, is that a compliment? That doesn't sound like a compliment. That's like a backhanded compliment. It's like that's her own insecurity. So, this is a big part of why I am in a deep emotional hole, that I lost everything when I was 6, when I moved. When I was moved, I didn't move, I was moved. I just followed along. I don't hate it. This the political environment is a little challenging right now, but still, I don't hate it. But here, anyways, so follow the threads. I don't even know how many threads are here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. There's like 14 different layers of gunk. And this is why I'm here. To blah blah blah, to whatever, unthread, whatever. To untangle all this, to bring what's on the inside outside. Oh, and here's the other thing. We spent so much time arguing, like, oh, did it happen? Is it, you know? So here's the thing. What if we stop arguing? It's like, okay, let's try out for size. Like, let's say definitively, like, mom's just wrong all the way, completely. Everybody would say that. All developmental theorists, psychologists would say mom is wrong. Let's stop arguing. Now what? This happened. Okay. She's immature, all these things. The other side is mom is the best. Great. She did all the things that she did great. She kept me alive. She makes food. This is her love language. She's hurt and she does it anyways. She's emotionally resilient. She's taking care of people. Great. So this side is great. And this side is this worst. So instead of arguing, is this true? Did this happen or not? We spend so much time trying to argue, like, oh, don't judge, this is just your brain. This is. No. If we do that, then we don't listen to the emotional parts that just wants to be heard without having us invalidate it all the time. So let's take one side and say, okay, now what? Now we can move forward. It's like, okay, this happened. Great. Now I'm an adult. I can build in systems to counteract and to dis- disentangle my emotional traumas. Whew. Yep. And just telling my mom to grow up, it's not going to work. My mom is who she is, you know? And maybe she's none of these things. Maybe I'm just making all of this up as a exercise, you know? I'm not saying it's the truth, because again, the real truth is that it was all just vibrations, and I am making all of this up in my mind. And so is mom, and so is dad, and so is anyone else listening. So, getting what's on the inside, outside. What's on the inside, outside. So, I haven't talked about the map. Okay. So that's me going into the emotional shadow right here, the relational shadow, which I don't usually talk about, and now I'm talking about it because screw the subconscious blocks. They're unnecessary. It's not unique to me. Anyway, so I'm talking about this. This is the 5 dimensions of reality: physical, experiential, social, symbolic, emotional. Okay. So what I've realized is this side is the things that I have, right? I have my health, wealth, and relationships. So I pull relationship over to here. So I have relationships, health, wealth, relationships, And I also have knowledge. Okay, so this is the things I have outside of me. This is my internal things I have inside. So I have my anything inside my brain that I've memorized, internal knowledge. So this is knowledge, right? This is the now moment, internal. And this is my emotion on the inside, internal. This is the external, right? So these are knowledge, collective knowledge. If this is the first brain, this is the second brain, then this must be the third brain, right? The collective brain. So this is symbolic, external. And then external people, right? So they exist. But then there's external world. So I pull this side over to here. So this is the external world, you know. And these are external emotions. So this would be, okay, so inside here, this would be my emotion about myself. And this would be my inside internal emotions about the other people. This is how I feel about them. This side is how other people feel about me. This is how a person feels about themselves, and this is how a person feels about me. Okay? So this is an external, their emotions, their people, their physical world, and physical knowledge, right? Symbolic, physical, emotional. Guess they also have an experiential inside, but it's kind of hard to map that out. I mean, you can extrapolate that each person has an inside just like this. And then they divvy up the world by who owns what, and they divvy up the knowledge by whoever knows what from the inside, and each person has health as well and their own relationships. So that's the map that I've been working on, the expansion. So this is still the best way to lock all the different knowledge together, the container. Okay, so there's health, wealth, relationships, and that only covers health, wealth, and relationships. And what I notice is missing the symbolic plane and the emotional plane and the now. So that's mainly why I pull this aside. So health, wealth, relationships is 3. Then knowledge is all here. Emotions is here. And now is the moment here, right? So then I did the 3-tier analysis. So the lowest knowledge is where it's stored, right? First brain, it's in my brain. Second brain is everything outside of me stored. And third brain is all the knowledge stored outside, collective knowledge. And then the container is this map. This is the map of what the contents are, and then the contents can pour into this container, and I can store it using this structure in one of 3 places. So the stuff, the map, and then the act of what we're doing with it, that knowledge, right? And then in the emotions, again, we have the content of the emotion itself, the waves. I try to figure out which emotion it is with the different containers. And then what do I do with it? Well, I hold it all, both the ups and downs. I hold it with the adult with action, the emotional parent with what I do with the emotion, and that's what I do with the feelings. Okay? And then the now moment, well, there is the content of the now. It could be sunny, it could be, there could be birds, it could be sounds. This is the content. The container is how I can focus on what exists inside the experiential dimension, which dimension it is, 1, 2, 3. And then what do I do? Where I put that focus is the action I do controlling the experiential now. So that's kind of the expansion that I'm excited about. the Ken, right? Knowledge, emotions, and now. All right, that is exactly an hour, and this is my day 13,947 log. I haven't achieved enlightenment yet, so I still have to keep doing these videos and keep on working on the equation. So if life was a math problem or a video game, this is how to play it. This is a player's guide. Player's guide. All right, that's it. Love y'all.